You've probably seen BCAAs in the supplement aisle or maybe even tried them yourself. But what exactly are BCAAs? What do they do? And is supplementing with them actually worth it? That's what we'll be talking about today. BCAAs, or branched-chain amino acids, are super important. There are 3 of them: leucine, isoleucine, and valine. They're amazing for muscle growth and recovery, They got this name from the way these amino acids are structured. Check this out. From the side, they totally look like branches. But just because they re-branch doesn't mean they re the coolest kids on the block, because they're our way. More than 20 different amino acids. It's just that those 3 are special because they can't be made by our bodies, meaning that we have to get them from food. So they are essential amino acids. Now, all 3 of them will be important in a bit. But today, let's focus on one in particular, leucine. See, it has a special role when it comes to your muscles. More specifically, it plays a big role in something called muscle protein synthesis. Muscle protein synthesis is basically the process where your body uses amino acids to build new muscle proteins. Think of it like construction workers building a building. In this case, the building is your muscle, and the workers are amino acids. Now, you don't always need to be building your muscles. Your body has ways to signal whether it's time to build, break down, or just maintain. For example, after a workout, your muscles might be broken down, so your body signals it's time to build up the muscle again. Leucine is one of those signals. When you eat protein, your body breaks it down into amino acids, and then some of those amino acids, including leucine, will float through your bloodstream to your muscles. Once inside your muscle cells, leucine gets to work. It activates mTOR. You may have heard of rap songs about it. It's like a rapper. And mTOR is like a manager that decides whether it's time to build, break down, or maintain. And guess what? Leucine tells mTOR that it's time to build, leading to increased muscle protein synthesis. So essentially, leucine is like a green light for muscle protein synthesis. Once you eat protein, leucine levels rise for about 2 hours. And since your body doesn't store amino acids, especially leucine, you need to have a consistent intake of protein throughout the day to activate this pathway over and over again. This helps your body turn all the amino acids from the protein you ate into muscle tissue. Research shows that leucine is the most potent stimulator of muscle protein synthesis out of all the amino acids. Now, you don't have to get your leucine from supplements. It's already present in food, particularly foods that contain protein. However, if you want to boost your leucine levels faster, or if you're doing a lot of exercise which depletes leucine, you can take supplements that contain leucine and other BCAAs. So who would benefit from taking these supplements? Well, athletes and bodybuilders, anyone who does a lot of exercise, especially resistance training, may benefit from BCAAs. See, during resistance training, you break down muscle tissue, so you need lots of amino acids to rebuild that tissue. A study showed that people who took BCAAs during resistance training for 6 weeks gained more muscle mass than people who didn't take them. But hey, you don't need to be a bodybuilder to benefit from BCAAs. Anyone who wants to gain or maintain muscle mass could benefit. Also, it's not just about building muscle. Research shows that BCAAs may help reduce muscle soreness, inflammation, and fatigue. BCAAs may also help with fat loss because they may increase satiety, meaning that they may make you feel fuller for longer. Wondering when to take BCAAs? Research shows that having them before your workout can really boost your performance. Pretty cool, right? Other research suggests that taking them during or immediately after exercise may be better. In any case, taking them within a few hours after waking up seems to be beneficial too. Ultimately, more research is needed to figure out the optimal timing. So until then, why not try taking them before, during, and after exercise to see how it makes you feel? Wondering how much you should take? Aim for about 5.6 grams of BCAAs for every kilogram of your body weight each day to boost muscle growth. However, this was in people who were severely protein restricted. Most adults don't fall into this category, so it's likely that less would be needed. The International Journal of Sports Medicine suggests that a dose of 140 milligrams of leucine per kilogram of body weight per day is sufficient for muscle protein synthesis. This works out to be about 19 grams for someone who weighs about 135 pounds or 61 kilograms. Of course, this is just a ballpark figure. You can experiment with different amounts to find what works best for you. I also want to mention that the research I've presented so far primarily used essential amino acid supplements that contained all the essential amino acids, not just the BCAAs. Essential amino acid supplements have been shown to be more effective than protein supplements at increasing muscle protein synthesis. However, there's no doubt that the essential amino acids, including the BCAAs, are also important. So I think it's safe to assume that taking a supplement that contains only the BCAAs can lead to similar results. After all, leucine is the main player when it comes to muscle protein synthesis. If you want to learn more about the science behind the best time to take protein, check out my video on the topic. Now let's go through some of the top scientific studies on BCAAs. In 2018, the researchers did a meta-analysis of 8 studies that looked at the effects of essential amino acids on muscle protein synthesis in healthy adults. They found that taking essential amino acids led to an 18% higher increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to taking no amino acids at all. In another meta-analysis, researchers looked at 11 studies that looked at the effects of BCAAs on strength, muscle thickness, and muscle strength. They found that taking BCAAs led to greater increases in lean body mass, fat-free mass, and leg strength than taking placebo pills. However, not all studies show positive results. For example, researchers did a meta-analysis of 9 studies that looked at the effects of BCAAs on athletic performance. They found that taking BCAAs didn't have any significant effects on strength, power, endurance, or recovery. So what gives? Why do some studies show positive results, while others show negative results? Well, there are many factors that can influence the results of a study, such as the dosage and timing of the supplement, the type of exercise performed, and the duration of the study. All of these factors can play a role in whether or not you see a difference. So what do you do if you're not sure what to believe? The answer is simple. Look at the bigger picture. When looking at all the research on BCAAs together, it seems that it can help athletes and bodybuilders maximize their gains. That's why I think it's especially useful for those groups to take BCAAs. Taking them may be like adding a little extra fertilizer to the soil where you plant your gains. It doesn't necessarily mean that you won't grow without it, but it may help speed things up. Okay, so what about the rest of us? Is taking BCAAs necessary if you're eating enough protein? Well, no, it's not necessary, but it doesn't hurt to take them either. You can totally get all your essential amino acids, including BCAAs, from food. So if you're getting enough essential amino acids from food, you don't really need to supplement with them. Who really needs BCAAs? Athletes, bodybuilders, and anyone who wants to maximize their gains. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a like. Share this video with your fitness-loving friends, and subscribe for more videos like this. Remember to be excellent to each other.